So Cracker Barrel is in a massive panic going into full damage control after a hilarious backfire that turned this big fake makeover into a corporate circus. So Cracker Barrel used to be a comfort restaurant on every family road trip, place that was familiar no matter where you pulled off, and people knew that the rocking chairs, the biscuits, and the smell of butter in the air. And right now, Cracker Barrel is just caught in a cultural a tug of war between nostalgia and corporate politics. Now, the same company that built its brand on country comfort is trying to fix what Cracker Barrel own leadership has broken. Okay, so the CEO responsible for this whole mess is trying to go ahead and hold her position and keep it. She's certainly promoting heritage and authenticity. The very idea she downplayed before the backlash. Now, right before the shareholders vote, she's returning recipes and traditions to save her job. And Cracker Barrel's quick reversal wasn't, conviction. It was panic wrapped in public relations. Okay, so as you all know, and I reported before, Sardar Glory, the steak and shakes chief who wants to take her seat. He's a straight talking businessman who believes patriotism still sells, and he's been warning Cracker Barrel not to unburden its core. Now he's challenging the board in a proxy fight, simply arguing that Cracker Barrel needs leadership that's grounded in the same values as its customers. Now, his timing couldn't be more sharper. Now, the chaos itself began when Cracker Barrel tried to go ahead and modernize management, added cocktails, changed the menus, and dulled the country charm that made the chain distinct. Now, I'll be honest with you all. This whole thing sounds like it was aimed towards a bunch of liberal white women. Okay, it wasn't aimed to the youth and stuff like they said before, the young adults and everything. No, it's aimed towards the white liberal woman. Okay, and excluding everybody else. Okay, so basically it was like she kept saying it was supposed to attract new diners, but instead it actually alienated the regulars who kept Cracker Barrel alive. Now, the chain's identity crisis showed what happens when executives actually chase, trends instead of keeping the tradition itself. Now, the traffic plunged right after those changes were made. You see, the company itself actually admitted to an 8% drop in visits almost immediately, and internal forecasts predicted the slump could linger for all year. Okay, now for a company with thin profit margins, that's a body blow. Investors started questioning whether the leadership that caused the drop could possibly fix it. Long story short, spoiler, it won't. But the stores began closing quietly. One chain near Memphis shut down weeks after the rollout, hinting at a larger problem. Now, when traffic falls, managers cut hours and staff. The workers, servers, cooks, dishwashers, and end up carrying the financial fallout from the corporate decisions made hundreds of miles away, as I've reported before. Now, to stop the bleeding, corporate launched new training programs and stuff. The company itself framed them as improvements, but they're really a scramble to relearn what used to work. Now, the company is reteaching basic recipes and food prep standards that never should have been changed in the first place. It's a desperate move to convince people that the company still remembers how to be itself. And that's sad right there. They also brought on the biscuit campaign, as you'll remember, where the company bragged about, bringing back daily fresh baking as if it were, a revolutionary upgrade. Now, the regulars knew that was just returning to normal, and marketing old habits as progress shows how far corporate culture drifted from its customers. Okay, so basically the numbers behind this are also staggering. The CEO spent more than $700 million on the rebranding plan when Cracker Barrel's total value was about $1.4 billion. She grabbed half the worth of Cracker Barrel on a makeover that backfired. That level of risk would get most people fired, but in the boardrooms, it buys time and spin. And honestly, I'm making this video because I hope definitely that this will reach to the ears of the members of the board to help them to give them more evidence of what they should go ahead and vote on. Okay, so basically, the workers on the other hand, didn't get that particular luxury. They faced longer hours, fewer shifts, and shrinking tips, while the executives talked about transformation. Now, the contrast couldn't be any clearer. The people who keep the chain running are the ones paying for the upper management experiments and the bad choices. Responsibility never moves upward where it actually belongs, because that's where the bad decisions came from. Now, despite the backlash, betting markets still give the CEO of Cracker Barrel solid odds of staying through, 2025. There's roughly an 11% chance that she is removed this year. Now, that gap shows how slow corporate systems are to react. Now, even after, damaging Cracker Barrel's reputation, she's insulted and she's insulated by politics rather than performance. Now, if the shareholders flip the board after the vote, the timeline changes. By 2026, investors may finally demand a real course correction. Cracker Barrel can't afford another 2 years of drifting strategy. A restaurant built on reliability can't run on excuses. Okay, so basically the company's messaging has already changed, and at first executives said that the old Cracker Barrel look was basically irrelevant, and now they claim the redesign was just to make signs easier to read from highways. Now, everyone who's ever seen that rocking chair logo knows that explanation is nonsense, and it's just spin that's meant to go ahead and protect management and not the customers. So basically, this shift tells the real story that Cracker Barrel tried to impress people who never eat there while insulting the people who do. Now, when that failed, Cracker Barrel rewrote the whole motive to sound practical instead of, ideological. Now, it's damage control disguised as transparency, basically. But this is not only about the restaurant chain itself, okay? The Cracker Barrel debacle actually mirrors what's happening across corporate America, where companies are abandoning the loyal customers to go ahead and chase the woke social trends until revenue collapses. Now, once that money drops, Wall Street sends in cleanup crews to go ahead and to, quote, rediscover heritage and values. Now, it's the same cycle every time, okay? So basically, the takeaway here is just simple. Cracker Barrel reversed course because real people walked away. Now, when customers stopped spending, even the most stubborn executives will listen. The market spoke louder than press releases, and that's why Cracker Barrel is suddenly rediscovering its roots. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Be sure to smash the like button, share the video far wide across social media, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell for future uploads, notifications, and I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, peace.